Welcome to the City of Groton Annual Budget Meeting. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Clerk Deb Patrick.
Here I have a return of the posting that was posted in the Municipal building and published in the New London Day with the announcement of the meeting on May 22nd, 2018. All electors and citizens qualified to vote in the City of Groton Annual Budget Meeting are hereby notified and warned to assemble at the Annual Budget Meeting, City Municipal Building, 295 Meridian Street, Groton, Connecticut, on Monday, June 4th, 2018 at 7:00 p.m. prevailing time for the purpose of acting on the following matters. In accordance, and this is the warning to electors, in accordance with Section 7-6 of the General Statutes of the State of Connecticut as amended, only an elector of the City of Groton or a citizen of the United States of the age of 18 or more who jointly or severally is liable to the city for taxes assessed against him or her on an assessment of not less than $1,000 on the last completed grand list of the City of Groton, or who would be so liable if not entitled to an exemption as a blind person, a veteran, a widow, or parent of a veteran, would be entitled to vote at this meeting.
This is the Mayor's Budget Message Fiscal Year 2018-2019. As required by Article 6, Section 2A of the Charter, I submit to you the proposed budget for fiscal year 2019, FY 2019. I'm submitting a budget which includes a decrease of $898,552 in comparison to FY 2018. Proposed budget would produce a decrease of 0.64 mil, resulting in a mill rate of 4.58. For taxpayers, this would mean a tax decrease of $64 per $100,000 of assessed property value. The budget removes the Water Pollution Control Authority from the general fund into its own enterprise fund, which will no longer be funded by taxes. This budget also follows the FY18 budget with funding for capital projects. Contingency contains $675,000 for undesignated capital projects. This will allow us to prioritize items from a CIP that have been held off over the past several years. You'll also find in this budget continued efforts to reserve funds for future purchases of vehicles. The use of the undesignated fund balance will be $400,000. This will leave a healthy reserve of 22.5%, slightly higher than FY 2018. The city continues to be fiscally responsible. Sincerely, Keith Hedrick. The general fund anticipated revenues: property taxes at 4.58 mils, interest and lien fees $5,141,295. Intergovernmental revenues, $4,959,202. Licenses and permits, $302,600. Interdepartmental revenues, $4,852,508. Miscellaneous revenues, $134,500. Operating transfers in, $15,000. Service charge, $195,000. Utilization of fund balance, $400,000. Total general fund anticipated revenues, $16,105. $16,105. General fund proposed operations. General government, $2,118,465. Police department, $5,044,138. Fire department, $3,066,277. Civil preparedness, $11,459. Public Works Department, $3,090,891. Public Buildings, $180,207. There is nothing for pollution abatement. Parks and Recreation Department, $1,204,462. Non-departmental, $110,000. Debt service, $384,206. Contingency, $790,000. Total general fund is $16,105. Before we start, I just want to read a section from Robert's Rules. This is in debate, your speech must relate to the motion under discussion. The rule is that your remarks must be germane. That is, they must have a bearing on whether the pending motion should be adopted. Going off on irrelevant topics is not in order. With that, I'll take a motion to appropriate for the fiscal year July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2019, the sum for the accounts and purposes set forth in the proposed annual budget as published in the day on May 28, 2018, and in full on the City of Groton website at www.cityofgroton.com, and levy a tax and other incomes to cover the appropriations approved at this meeting for the fiscal year July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2019, and said tax to be collected July 1st, 2018.
Need a motion, please?
So moved.
Sorry, who's that?
We don't talk first.
You have a motion, then a second, and then we open floor for discussion. Who was the motion?
Dan Tompkins
Okay.
moved it.
Who?
And
Second?
seconded.
Second.
Now,
Okay.
we will take,
Okay. Now we will open the floor for discussion. For those of you that have signed up, do you have the list?
I do.
Okay. When
We
you
have two people who wish to speak. Jay Dempsey.
come up, come to the podium, state your name and your address, please, for the record.
Jay Dempsey, 22 South Prospect Street. I'm more nervous talking in front of you guys than I was at the singing at Barbecue Fest this weekend. So you'll have to bear with me. I might be a little shaky here.
Can't hear you.
I'll get right on it. I hope all these topics are related to the budget because they all have to do with money. Talking about sewer fees because they were taken out of the budget. The new sewer fees will hurt the most vulnerable in our city.
that is not on the budget.
We will, because it was taken out of the budget.
It's not.
It's not in the budget.
It was taken out, but we can't have a discussion why it was taken out?
It's not on the budget.
We had
That's ridiculous.
several meetings where you could have talked about it in the past. It is not.
Has the council voted on the sewer fees?
Yes, in March,
They've already been moved.
in April.
They've already been moved.
Look,
There was an initial reading of an ordinance on March 5th. The final reading was April 2nd.
Okay, so we took all the
The-
sewer fees out.
for this budget, if the council will be voting on the Utilities Commission, electric, water, and sewer on the 18th of this month.
And that's when they could change their mind.
Sir,
All right, so I think that's relative to the budget, wouldn't you say?
it's relative to that budget. So you could come out then to talk to them then. You could, the sewer fee,
So all these people have to show up to the sewer budget meeting then? I mean, the
if they
sewer,
want to talk about the sewer budget, it's during that meeting. This budget is about the budget that you see posted here that has been posted. The sewer is 100% out of this budget. There is no sewer fee in this budget, Jay. There's no WPCA money or expenditures in this budget whatsoever.
what I'm trying to say is, we took that out of the budget. We should be able to discuss why we did that, no?
What we're here to vote on is this budget.
Okay, I'll move on. I'd like to just fill people in on a lot of these things because I've done some research, and Mike Boucher's done some research dealing with revenues and things. So I'll just read some things to you so that you know where we are today, okay? The electric revenue is down 8 million this past year, ending June 30th. All right. Speaking on the budget, we have done nothing to combine and share services with the town. And our electric company is down to 25 million in revenues since 2009. Our electric company, just like the cable company, has not kept up with new technology. Our customers have installed their own fuel cells and solar panels.
Jay, I need you to stay on track.
Okay,
And
this,
so we're. the
This next
discussion
part
to
is on
talk
track.
about this budget.
all right,
If you want to talk about electric, if you want to talk about water, if you want to talk about sewer, please come out on the 16th.
all right, I'll plan to do that.
I'm sorry.
18.
Sorry, hold on. Let me 18th, sorry, let me make sure I give you the right, on the 18th of June, that's
All
when
right,
the,
thank you for that.
yes,
All right, moving on. We're still creating new positions in the city, even though we cannot keep up with medical and pension costs. City police pensions are up $100,000 just this year. The city budget is rising over $5 million this year for the first time, plus IT, it's probably up to about $5.3 million, I'd say. The police study that we paid for says we could save about $2 million a year if we combine jail, dispatch, 911, and leadership costs with the town. We could keep patrols, we could even afford a couple daytime community officers for our schools and neighborhoods. Why not work on that, combining jail, dispatch, and leadership? Lastly, we are still paying TVC debt about $2.5 million a year, and CMEC is holding $8 million of city Groton dollars. There's a lot of money that people just don't even have a clue on how it comes in and out of the budget. I just want to tell them that. Lastly, our 2017 CAFR just came out 3 days ago before our city budget meeting, and I think that is just simply untimely financial reporting. If the SEC had anything to do with us, we would be like in violation. And that's all I have. I'm voting no on this budget.
okay, who's next?
Dan Tompkins.
Daniel Tompkins, 30 South Prospect Street. I too came tonight to speak on the sewer use fees, and I respect that that's not allowed. So I will be coming back to speak to the mayor and council to ask them to revisit those fees, because I think it places an undue burden on working families. In relation to the budget, I'm here to support it. I think that it's fiscally responsible. I think that the services that we receive are second to none at a very affordable rate, and I would urge the residents here to vote on it. And if you have issues with the sewer use fees, address those at a further time. But the budget is fiscally responsible, and I think we should vote in favor of it.
There are no other speakers signed up.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
The question, just 'cause I'm very green on this stuff.
Could I get you to come up to the podium, state your name, your address for the record?
Jeff Nichols, 18 Chapman Street. My question, I guess anybody in the room can answer it.
Well, no.
Yeah, I mean, I'll wait to hear my question, though. So if you vote yes to this budget, does that impact something that we have to, if we vote no on the sewer, does that then come into this budget? You know what I mean? So does one vote have an effect on the other? So that's what I'm asking.
When this budget passed, you are voting on this budget.
Yes, sir.
And when this budget passes, there will be no sewer use, no sewer out of this budget.
Right. So, right, so if we, right,
The user fee,
right.
okay, hold on. The electric budget,
Mm-hmm.
the water budget, and the sewer budget will all be reviewed with the council on that Monday that
Right.
we talked about. And you can come out and speak then about the budget, about those specific budgets.
But if this budget doesn't include that, and that, does it come back around? Is it too late now to change the whole sewer thing because of this budget's already been set?
Yeah, because
That's what I'm asking.
We have moved the sewer out of the municipal budget. That is correct.
So if we are going to vote no for the sewer thing, then we should all vote no for this, that's what I'm asking. Because in hindsight, it's too late to go back after that.
Exactly.
It's-
Good point.
Do I make sense what I'm saying to you? Does it make sense?
Well, not really,
Okay.
because you're voting.
Does it make sense to we're here?
Well, I'm sure it does to some folks out there, but if what you're voting on tonight is you're voting on the budget that is presented to you, and that is the budget without the sewer in it.
Okay. Okay.
The council has already voted, and they have moved this forward. This is the budget for us tonight for the free.
I'm betting that 90% of the people here probably thought we were coming for the sewer thing, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
So-
You guys, if you read the posting, the reason you were asked was to come out to vote for the sewer budget, and that was never the intent of tonight. Tonight's budget, this is the municipal budget. The sewer budget is not going to be voted on tonight. It's going to be
Okay.
voted on the 18th. That's the truth. And
Okay.
and I have tried to be as transparent as we possibly can about this. We've been talking about the sewer usage fees since January. And we've had public hearings, we've had public information, we put it on Facebook, we put it on our website to get the information out.
Okay.
And we tried to get as much information out as we possibly could. One of the things that the utility did is on the 18th, they sent out their first flyer 2 months in advance to let people know that the fee was coming. And that surprised some people because they said, wait a minute, where'd this come from?
Right.
And so we want to let people know, we've been addressing that. But we have, as far as I'm concerned, we have used every possible avenue in order to get the word out to people, except we haven't called everybody up by phone.
I just feel like that you could, if you sent a letter out, you could probably send the letter out to the thousands of people. Like this room of 100 people here doesn't represent the 1,000 people who live in the city of Groton. And I'm sure there's more people out there that have no idea that this is going on and that this has been voted on. And I'm not saying that's your fault directly, but as a resident who, like, I feel like I haven't been informed enough. And the vote on this stuff, like one vote impacts the other vote. So honestly, it's going to be hard for me to say yes to this. Just looking at this, even if I agree with 100% of this, it's hard for me to lock my vote in as this because the vote in 2 weeks is going to impact today's vote too. That's the truth.
No, it's not.
Well, I'm being told that it affects it though. Okay, that's why I'm up
It's
here.
a separate enterprise account.
No, can somebody out there answer it? I'm trying to get some clarification. I don't care who answers it. I really don't.
Man, I'll get to you in a minute. Jason, could you come up to?
Thank you. And again, it's not.
If you're gonna, I will acknowledge you, but I need you to come up here so that you can state your name and address for the record.
Jason Rusk, 85 Baker. If I can ask a couple pointed questions, just kind of clear up the confusion that I'm hearing. The decision to move the sewer fees out and the water treatment out of the municipal budget was done in March or April, is that correct?
There's an ordinance that created the user fees to be in utilities. And that was done on 2 occasions in March and in April, so that the ordinance was rectified.
Right, and I attended one of those meetings. It was announced publicly, it was held publicly, and it was, the council voted at that time. So as I understand it, Mayor, that the meeting next month is not to decide whether or not to keep the fees in the municipal budget. That's already been decided.
Right.
So the meeting next month is not
Okay.
to accomplish what you think it's going to accomplish. That's already been done
Thank you.
at a public meeting.
Okay.
The meeting next month is for the council to review the budget that GU proposes for itself, and then for them to vote on that budget. Does that?
That is correct.
Thank you.
But you understand my confusion, right?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Man, did you want to?
Leanne Aubrey, property owner, 1618 Spicer Avenue. The only point I wanted to make is once you vote on a budget, you're doing it here in the city tonight, it'll be done tomorrow night in the town, you cannot change these numbers. You can't say because something doesn't go well later on, you can come back and change the numbers. So you're wrong with what you're saying.
It's ridiculous, man.
It's the way it's done.
A week ago, we got the thing in the mail telling us how much our water is.
I gotta say that I think the exposure of the information has been most adequate. You gotta take the time to go online, read something. If you can't go online, pick up the phone and talk to somebody. But don't necessarily think that your neighbor that's got an agenda is going to give you the accurate information. When somebody sells a house and somebody asks them how much he sold it for, it's going to be one price. And when you ask the guy that bought it, it's going to be another price. It's just the way human nature is. So this is what you're voting on tonight. And the other concerns you have, you come back and talk at the next meeting. But you can't change these numbers. Would you agree?
That's never been an argument, though. That's not at all what I was saying.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. It's fine.
Yep.
I get what you're saying.
Everybody down here is totally cooperative if you have a question. You come in and you'll get your questions answered, you'll get your information that you need. And so we have to make the effort too.
I just never thought of picking up a phone and saying, is my electric bill going to go up? I never thought of randomly picking up a phone and thinking that's going to happen.
There's a lady right over there who'll be happy to talk with you about it.
Again, it's not who to contact me. Picking up a phone at all. It doesn't make sense.
Hold on, let me see if there are any other first-time members before. Are there any other individuals who would like to speak? Okay, Jay?
I don't think anybody in this room knew that we were going to see 15 to 100% increase in fees, whether you call them fees or taxes, okay?
I did. I attended the public meeting in March.
Okay, well, you're the only one. So, okay, there was 10 people here. So, let me just say, did you know your fees were going to go up?
I did, yes, sir.
Did you know there's a military family living like over on Eastwood? He's going off to duty, and his city fees are going to increase 100%. Do you know that you're doing that to people? Do you know that people across the street at the condos, their city fees will increase 100%? So whether you call them fees, or taxes, you're increasing people's fees to the city as much as 100%. Mine particularly, is it going to be, whether it was a 1.1 mill rate or this new sewer tax, it's probably about a wash. My house is a $350,000 assessment. The lower your assessment, the higher your rate would be. You could double your tax. That's all I'm saying.
Mine's gonna go up $16.
Well, that's good for you.
But I'm saying, I have a lower assessment than you. I don't live in a really,
You probably don't use much water, I guess.
there's 3 of us living there.
We're not.
I did the numbers, I've done the numbers throughout the city. You're going to see 15 to 100%.
Okay,
All right? That's all I want to know.
don't agree with you, but that's okay. Okay, all right, is there anyone else that would like to speak? Okay, Brian?
I have one more point of order.
Well, I've acknowledged the speaker, please.
Brian Neiman, 76 Allen Street. I just want to say that I have come down here, and when I got the little yellow piece of paper, I was not happy with the numbers, but I was aware of it. Yeah, I had followed the meetings, knew that separation was being taken place, that we would be charged a sewer fee, which, from what I understand, every municipality is charging sewer fees. We're only catching up. So we, as residents and citizens, need to keep track of what's going on, and not just in one area. If you want to know, you need to look or you need to ask. Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay,
One more comment.
Come up to the podium, please.
I don't know if this is true or not, but.
Does it matter?
Well, I had a question.
Okay.
The budget that we're at now is what, 16 million?
That is correct.
Okay. I think that somebody could come up to this podium and propose another number, and the people, if somebody wanted to second it, and they vote on it,
No, you can't.
that,
In the middle of a motion.
that is actually, you'd have to do it afterwards?
No, if you were going to do that, you could need to make an amendment. You didn't need to propose another number, but if you go into the charter says no amount of money less than or more than that recommended for the total budget may be approved at the annual budget meeting except by majority vote of electors and qualified citizens present and voting in a number equal to that to at least 5% of the electors of the city. While discussions of budget categories and line items are in order, the electors and qualified citizens of the city at the annual city budget meeting shall have no power to decrease or increase specific budget categories or line items.
So we can't propose another number, you're saying?
You would need 5% of the electorate,
Oh, okay.
Which would be about 280.
Thank you.
285 people.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, where are my counters? Okay, I need 2 over here and 2 over there. So what? All right. Deborah, you ready? So I'm gonna ask for the ayes first. So all in favor, raise your hand.
And we're just counting this half.
You're counting this half, and then you're counting this half. Did someone count me? Okay.
14.
You good? Okay. I got the mayor.
And then we have to ask for a vote against.
You have to ask for a vote again?
No, and those not.
Yes, those for against. Okay, all those voting nay, raise your hand.
I didn't count myself. Sorry.
Always forget that one.
Okay, the numbers are 38 for and 23 against.
Okay, motion carries. Item 2, I need a motion to approve the minutes for the following meeting, the City of Groton Annual Budget Meeting, minutes of June 5th, 2017.
I so moved.
Second.
Did you get motion in a second? Okay.
Parker and Dewar.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. And last item is to take any action on any other business which may legally become before said meeting. Is there any other action? With that, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. You're adjourned. Thank you for coming out.